Hey there everybody, how you doing? Welcome to another tip of the week, another tip on quarantine, and I'm going to talk about Zoom and the problems Zoom has had and their response, and then I'm going to give you another alternative to Zoom, okay? So, let's start. Zoom has had security issues, and there are two main fronts on those security issues. One is a malware that was installing when you install the Zoom app. They kind of replaced the Zoom installer with a malware that installed Zoom and the malware. So you didn't know that the malware was installed because you still had Zoom. And that problem, Zoom has already announced to the media that they have fixed. If you're still wary and you need to install Zoom, make sure you install from reputable sources, okay? Don't install from different websites that have installers. Install straight from zoom.us. Try installing when you start a meeting instead of installing on the open link, because then you have to be logged in and stuff like that to install. If you're installing on your mobile device, make sure you install from the App Store and the Google Store, the official places, and not from somewhere else, okay? The second problem was the Zoom bombers, which was people infiltrating in meetings they weren't allowed in, and they either pranked the meetings with porn, showing porn to everyone, or they did something more nefarious, which was stay there in the meeting incognito and find out proprietary stuff, private things that were discussed in the meeting and weren't for everyone. Zoom has also sent emails to their users. I received two with several enhancements they have done to make those meetings safer, more secure, more private. One is password for meetings. Before, passwords weren't standard, okay? The default was the meeting being created without a password. You can still create meetings without password, but the default that comes when you're starting a meeting, if you don't change that, is for the meeting to be created with a password. And the second default feature that wasn't default before was the waiting room, which allows you to control who enters the meeting and who's out of the meeting, waiting for you to approve them, or even to send people to the waiting room and then to send them out of the meeting altogether. So those, I think, were the two most noticeable changes that are very good for privacy, but there are several other changes they have made that has made using Zoom much more secure. But I completely understand that a lot of people are very wary of using Zoom now. The issue here is, over the last few weeks, the amount of people using these video conferencing tools, and Zoom was the most popular one, has increased significantly. So that's why they became a rich target, for hackers. So it's not that the hackers are going to disappear if everybody stops using Zoom and starts using Hangouts, for instance, okay? It's just that they're going to shift their focus to the new popular tool that's being used. So, in my opinion, the most important feature, whatever tool you're using, is their response time in fixing vulnerabilities. And I think Zoom, once the vulnerability was pointed out to them, they had a really good response time, in my opinion. Okay? But like I said, I understand if you're wary of using them. So I've already showed you Jitsi and Bigbluebutton. I'm gonna show you Google Hangouts. Right now, they're being used a lot, and so they're a good option. Google Hangouts is the free option, is more limited option, and there's Google Hangout Meets. That is the option for the G Suite. That one is paid, but has more capability. The Google Hangouts Meets, if I'm not mistaken, starts at 250 participants and has a lot of control over who you allow to join a meeting. Okay, so that's really good and allows you to use your domain, and the G Suite is a really good option. There's a 14-day period for you to try this for free, and I've actually tried this. Right now I don't need this, so probably when my trial period ends, I'm not gonna renew, because right now I don't need this, but this is something I'm keeping in mind for later, and a very good option, a very good alternative to Zoom. Again, I'm gonna remind you of Jitsi, okay? That's also a good alternative. And Bigbluebutton that I already showed you, okay? So Bigbluebutton is also another really good tool. Any one of those are good options for you to use. Which one you try really depends on the amount of people you need to be able to join the meeting and your organization needs and which one they prefer, okay? But they're all really good. I've been testing Meets and Hangouts this week, so I really like them too. I actually liked all of them, so I don't have a favorite. So, but like I said, in my opinion, you have to keep an eye out, okay? Because if everyone migrates from Zoom to, for instance, Jitsi, and then Jitsi has a problem, it's not that Jitsi is bad, is that you're gonna have to wait and see their response time. If they fix the problem quickly, then they have a really good response time, and that's a good option. And I believe Zoom had a pretty good response time. They didn't wait months with the problem. They actually solved the problem in less than a week. But any one of those options are good. Again, I'm gonna continue looking. If there's news, I'll let you know. And stay at home, stay safe. That's the best thing we can do right now, is stay at home. Okay, so see you next week.